I'm a 32-year-old man, a single dad to my teenage daughter Harper, from a previous relationship. Her mother isn't in the picture, so I've got full custody. 5 years ago I married Nina, now 31, and we dreamed of expanding our family. After struggling to conceive, we learned I couldn't have more children due to medical complications. Undeterred, we chose a sperm donor, and a few months ago our son Mark was born. But here's where things unravel. Harper, once the center of my world, is now caught in a storm of resentment, and I'm left questioning if I failed her. Before Mark, Harper and I had a sacred ritual, 2 days a week, just the two of us, no interruptions. We'd grab burgers, watch old movies, or just talk about her dreams. Those days were our glue. But with a newborn, I couldn't leave Nina alone for entire weekends. Harper's anger simmered, but the real explosion came 3 days ago. Our house has 4 bedrooms, 2 master suites on one side, 2 smaller rooms on the other. Nina and I share one master. Harper had the other. When Mark arrived, his nighttime wake-ups meant constant treks across the house. Exhausted, we decided to turn Harper's master bedroom into a nursery for Mark. I asked her to move to a smaller room. She nodded, said, "Okay," and started packing. I thought we were fine. Less than an hour later, my brother showed up. Harper had called him, begging to be picked up. She stormed out, bags in hand, and threw a gut punch. "You can give it to your son now." She's been gone 3 days, staying with my brother, refusing to talk to me. My phone's blowing up with family calling me every name in the book. Idiot, failure, selfish. They adore Harper, the first grandchild, and haven't fully warmed to Mark, who isn't biologically mine. Their bias is clear, but am I the villain here? Let's break it down. Harper's a teenager, already navigating a world where she feels invisible. Her room wasn't just a space. It was her sanctuary, her proof she mattered. Taking it away, even with logic on my side, convenience, exhaustion, screamed to her that Mark, the new baby, was more important. I didn't talk it through. I issued an order. Imagine being 15, already resentful of a new sibling, and your dad, your rock, tells you to pack up your life for a baby who's taking your time, your space, your everything. No wonder she called my brother. She didn't fight because she was done. That silence, it's louder than any argument. But here's the controversial hook. Maybe I'm not the idiot. Maybe Harper's reaction, while valid, ignores the reality of a newborn. Parents of infants are in survival mode, sleep-deprived, stretched thin. Was I supposed to prioritize her feelings over Nina's sanity or Mark's needs? The internet calls me a failure, but where's the line between being a dad to a teen and a dad to a baby? Society glorifies the perfect parent, but real life is messy. I'm not saying I handled it well, I didn't, but expecting me to juggle everyone's emotions flawlessly is a fantasy. To fix this, I need to rebuild trust. Step 1, get Harper home. I'll drive to my brother's, sit her down and listen.
No excuses, no defensiveness.
I'll apologize for making her feel replaced and promise her room back, even if it means Nina and I take turns with nighttime feedings. Step 2, carve out time for just us, even if it's 1 day a week. Harper needs to know she's still my priority. This mess has taught me that logic, a nursery, makes sense, can't trump emotions. A teen's need to feel valued. If I don't act fast, I risk losing her for good. Now let's shift to another story, one that's just as raw. I'm a 39-year-old woman, divorced for 8 years, with sole custody of my 2 kids, 19 and 18. Their dad, 42, moved to Spain for treatment after a serious illness. Recently, his health took a nosedive, and his mother called me, pleading to let the kids visit him. She offered to cover tickets and expenses, even for me to join them. I said no. The kids traveling alone to a country they've never visited felt too risky. My ex-mother-in-law pushed, saying her son was desperate to hug his kids, that his emotional health hinged on it. I suggested video calls, but she insisted in-person was different. The kids want to go, but I'm standing firm. Now, she's guilt-tripping me, warning I'll regret it if they miss their last chance to see him. Am I wrong? The internet's verdict is brutal. I'm the idiot. My kids aren't toddlers, they're legal adults. At 18 and 19, they've likely traveled domestically, managed part-time jobs, maybe even voted. Spain isn't a war zone. It's a developed country with reliable infrastructure. The grandmother's covering costs, so money's not the issue. My refusal looks like control, maybe even spite toward my ex. If he's dying, denying the kids a final goodbye could scar them forever. They might resent me, and that fear gnaws at me. But let's flip the script. What if my caution isn't selfish but protective? International travel isn't a quick flight to grandma's. What if they get lost, scammed, or face a medical emergency. I've never met my ex's family in Spain. Who's picking them up? What if his condition worsens mid-visit, and they're stuck in a foreign hospital? My ex stopped visiting years ago. Why is this suddenly urgent? The guilt trip from his mom feels manipulative, like she's weaponizing his illness. As a mom, my job is to keep my kids safe, not cave to emotional blackmail. Still, the emotional weight is crushing. Imagine your kids begging to see their dying dad, and you're the gatekeeper saying no. The logic, travel risks, clashes with the heart, their need for closure. To move forward, I'll talk to the kids again, lay out my fears and explore options, like a trusted adult traveling with them or a shorter trip. If they're set on going, I'll help make it happen, even if it means swallowing my anxiety. The last thing I want is for them to carry regret because of me. Next, consider a couple navigating a new apartment. I'm a single mom with a daughter who stays with me half the week. My boyfriend and I found a 3-bedroom place. One small room for my daughter, one for me, and one for him. Initially, I thought we'd share a bedroom, but he wanted separate spaces, which we agreed was healthy. He claimed the biggest room, double the size of mine. My belongings wouldn't fit, so I stored some at my parents' garage. I suggested he pay more rent since his room's larger, calculating the cost per square foot. He refused, citing our 50-50 agreement. He argued my daughter's room evens things out, despite her part-time presence and my covering groceries. Now he's calling me petty, and I'm regretting this entire move. Am I the idiot? The internet's split. Some say I'm wrong. My daughter and I get 2 rooms, so I'm getting more space overall. Others call us both petty, arguing separate rooms signal we're not ready to live together. But here's the twist. Separate rooms were his idea, not mine. If he wants more space, shouldn't he pay for it? Fairness isn't just math. It's about respect. His refusal to compromise, especially after dismissing my calculations as petty, feels like a red flag. Imagine moving in with someone who prioritizes their comfort over yours. Would you feel valued? To resolve this, we need a candid talk before signing the lease. I'll propose splitting rent by room size or sharing the big room to keep costs equal. If he digs in, I'll reconsider moving in. A relationship where one partner dismisses the other's concerns is a recipe for resentment. This isn't about square footage. It's about whether we're building a life together or just splitting bills. Finally, let's explore a blended family facing a cultural crossroads. I'm a 37-year-old woman who lived in Japan for 7 years, where I married, had my son Finn, now a tween, and divorced. Finn and I returned to my home country when he was 3. I remarried Harry, who shares 50-50 custody of his son Sam, an older tween. Finn and Sam get along great. Sam and I are cordial, though his mom complicates bonding. Finn's been eager to explore his Japanese heritage, so I planned a 3 to 4 week trip to Japan during his school break. It's pricey, $17,000 for us both, but worth it for Finn to connect with his roots. Sam loves Japanese culture, so I offered to include him if Harry and his mom covered most of his costs. I'd handle the rest and chaperone. Harry said he couldn't afford it. Sam's mom refused to let him travel with me alone. Now they're pressuring me to shorten the trip so all 4 of us can go, with me footing most of the bill. I'm standing firm. This is Finn's journey, not a group vacation. They're accusing me of favoritism, warning it'll damage my bond with Sam. Am I wrong? Most say I'm not the idiot. This trip is for Finn to reclaim his heritage, not a family outing. Harry and Sam's mom seem entitled, expecting me to subsidize their inclusion. But let's challenge that. What if my generosity was a mistake? By offering to include Sam, did I set unrealistic expectations? Blended families are a minefield. Every decision risks someone feeling left out. Still, Finn's waited years for this. Cutting his trip short to appease others feels unfair. To navigate this, I'll reaffirm the trip's purpose to Harry and explain it's not about excluding Sam but honoring Finn's needs. I'll suggest a future trip for Sam when finances align. Clear boundaries now prevent resentment later. This isn't favoritism. It's prioritizing a promise to my son. In each story, the core issue is balance. Logic versus emotion, fairness versus sacrifice. As parents, partners, and humans, we're wired to seek justice, but life rarely splits evenly. These conflicts expose our biases. We cling to control, me with Harper's room, fear loss, the mom blocking the Spain trip, or demand equity, the apartment rent dispute. The Japan trip shows how generosity can backfire when others exploit it. The lesson: communicate early, listen deeply, and act with empathy, Even when it's hard, that's how we mend what's broken and build something stronger.